India's growth is exponentially rising, and it becomes essential that the full potential of its digital capabilities are realized and explored.
डिजिटल इंडिया सिर्फ एक नाम नहीं है, ये देश के विकास का बहुत बड़ा विजन है.
Amidst this, Times Network brought forth a platform for harnessing digital transformation. WhatsApp presents India Digital Fest. Future Begins Here showcased the power of digital technology to shape the future. Through specially curated sessions attended by government leaders and industry experts, the event brought forth the digital ability to surpass human imagination. In this episode, Minister of State for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Rajeev Chandrasekhar, is in an exclusive conversation with Managing Editor Times Network, Mihir Bhatt, on skilling India's future-ready workforce.
Thank you so much for joining us, and it's a pleasure having you at Digital India Fest, though virtually. I hope next time you make it physically. But as you know, Times Network has been taking this initiative and obviously, it's a 7-year journey. We used to have Digital India Summit. Now we have transformed it to India Digital Fest. First of all, what is your message for the audience here, which is a mix of obviously entrepreneurs and people who are part of digital ecosystem in India?
So, namaskar, and thank you for inviting me to speak on this celebration of Digital India. Thank you to the Times Group and the Times Network for doing this very important celebration every year of all things digital, and in particular the innovation that has been built around the last 6 or 7 years around Digital India. There is obviously very much to speak about how far our country has traveled, but I will just say this, that we are living certainly in one of the most exciting periods of India's independent history, and a large part of that excitement, the large part of the promise for India in the coming years, as in the decade of technology opportunities, for which our Honorable Prime Minister has created a beautiful brand called the India Techade, a decade full of technology opportunities. A lot of this has been built around the trends of the increasing digitization of the world, and indeed India's growing preeminence in that space. So I think this annual celebration of Digital India is also, in a sense, a report carding of how fast and how far we are traveling every year. And so I thank Times Network and indeed all those associated for having this annual celebration and, in a sense, putting a marker on the ground for the years ahead in terms of innovation and growth of the digital economy.
Absolutely. Sir, India is already considered, a superpower when it comes to digital ecosystem in the world. And we have seen the strides that India as a nation and as a digital economy has taken when it comes to, the online transactions, the UPI transactions, the retail. Now, obviously, going forward, this is only going to grow. And that requires India to keep pace with innovations which are happening around the world, and at the same time focus heavily on capacity to develop that kind of skill sets in India. So what is Government of India's plan for that?
Look, I think one way of, in a sense, putting in perspective what our plan is also to understand how far we have traveled in the last 8 years since Honorable Prime Minister launched Digital India. And if you remember, pre-2014, when there was a conversation about technology in India or indeed the digital economy, it was almost certainly limited to the IT and ITES space, and which was growing well. It has created tremendous amount of economic opportunity and created tremendous investments and jobs. But post-2014, the digital economy framework or the digital economy architecture in India has rapidly expanded and diversified to include many, many more elements. You talked about the internet and consumer tech space. You talked about digital payments. We are adding to that semicon design, electronics manufacturing. We're talking about AI. We're talking about blockchain. We're talking about high performance computing. And so there is almost every segment of technology that the world today is looking at as opportunities, looking at as disruptions, India and Indian entrepreneurs are present there. India is no longer an outlier in the digital economy of the world. It is a significant presence and a significant player in the digital economy of the world. And I would go as far as to say, Mihir, that going forward, the landscape of technology, the future of technology, whether it is the future of the internet, the future of AI, the future of the data economy, or whatever, or indeed the semicon and compute side of it, Indian entrepreneurship and Indian innovation will be on the round table when big decisions are being made, when big innovations are being celebrated. So it is clear in my mind that we are now players and we want to be players. And when I say we, I mean young Indians, young innovators are essentially in every segment, slice and pie of the digital opportunity that a similar entrepreneur or a similar youngster in the Silicon Valley, in Japan, in Korea is also gearing up to pursue and address.
So like you rightly mentioned, today India obviously has its claim on the high table when it comes to digital economy and digital revolution globally. My question is specifically about AI and blockchain technology, where obviously US still dominates. China has made a lot of progress, but obviously we don't have access to that technology. What is our game plan? Because actually this is the future. So when it comes to AI or blockchain technology, what is India's strategy?
So look, one of the things that the Prime Minister on August 15, 2021 said, and I will start with that and I'll answer your question in detail. He said this India decade is going to be architected and built by young Indians. So in a lot of ways, for the first time in the history of India, policy makers are understanding the importance of young Indians to the success of India in the coming decade. And so on one side, one of the things that the Honorable Prime Minister has done very, very effectively and systematically is expand the opportunity pie. No segment of the digital economy today is unopened or is left unopened. It is whether it's space, whether it's drones, whether it's semiconductors, whether it's electronics, whether it's blockchain, whether it's high performance compute, every segment of the digital economy today has the ability for a young Indian in partnership with the government, in doing it on his own, to be a participant in that space. So opportunities today are endless, limitless for young Indians who are determined to succeed. The Honorable Prime Minister repeatedly says, and it is a message that I have the privilege of repeating whenever I go to colleges and campuses, which is that education gives you knowledge, but skills gives you the ability, the real ability to pursue these vast numbers of opportunities that are emerging in this digitizing world post-COVID. So there is a comprehensive plan. There is a skilling ecosystem that has been built, that is being modernized and being made more industry ready, more future ready. We have 6,000 skills that have been delivered through a widespread skill network. We are now bringing the academic institutions into that network. I just launched it 3 days ago in Bengaluru. And that allows a student, even if he's doing a degree or she's doing a degree, to also do a skill program. And that skill could be a white collar skill at the very high end, drones, AI, robotics, Industry 4.0, or it could be a typical blue collar skill where there is a lot of demand, but with blue collar skill with the digital skills that are required to succeed in the digital age.